What do you know about the history of ketones dating back to when did we even discover that our bodies were making ketones?
Ever since humans were around, ever since animals existed, ketones existed.
If you think of our hunter-gatherer past, the hunting was not always good, and the gathering was not always good. They had no idea why, but they knew that starvation worked. And that was because, of course, that starvation was elevating the ketones. Probably most likely acetoacetate was the ketone having that function.
Around 1921, it was discovered that if someone ate an extremely high-fat diet, like 80 to 90% of the calories is fat, and greatly reduced the carbohydrate, that would mimic starvation. And they discovered shortly after that it was actually an elevation of ketones that was a big factor in this. More than 20 years later, we actually have an exogenous ketone that people can simply take and increase their ketone levels and experience the benefits.
Before Prove It, and we're talking about 5, 6, 7 years ago, the only way to get into ketosis was through intense low carbohydrate ketogenic diet. There's an adaptation period when people go on a ketogenic diet. Myself and Dr. Lowry were doing a lot of research with exogenous ketones. And prior to Prove It, when you go on a low carbohydrate diet and you make ketones and they raise up in the blood, right? That is where all the magic happens. The cost of a ketone back when we were doing research before Prove It could be as high as $1,000 a serving. Brian Underwood came along in the Prove It team and basically said, we need to take this and be able to get it out to the masses. Prove It with engineering and innovation was able to bring it onto the market, so it was very cheap per serving and it became affordable. So now all of a sudden, this literally changed the world. No one was talking about ketogenic dieting. Now everyone's talking about ketogenic dieting because they could experience the power of ketones. Before Prove It came onto the market, ketogenic dieting was bad for you. Now everyone knows ketogenic dieting is great for you, improves longevity, and that ketones are the key.